So if you're spending more and more on your Google Ads budget, you're increasing the budget and you're not making any sales, your ads aren't converting and they're not profitable, I can promise you that you are not alone. In 2024, Google Ads made Google $240 billion. But in one study with over 13,000 marketers, only 1 in 5 said their ads were actually profitable. So if your campaigns aren't profitable right now, it doesn't mean that your ads are broken or you're bad at Google Ads. It usually just means you don't know how to isolate and fix a specific problem. My name's William, and over the last handful of years, last 5 years, we've done over 80 million on behalf of e-commerce brands. And I see the same thing time and time again with small brands that we speak to. Spend goes up, clicks and impressions go up, and conversions fall off a cliff, and so does their ROAS. So before you launch 15 new campaigns or launch your laptop at your co-founder, take a very deep breath, because in today's video, I'm going to walk you through 5 steps that you can take to health check your account. So you go from, I don't know what to do here, I'm not sure how to action this, to I know exactly what to do, I've isolated the problem, and this is how I'm going to fix it. Let's dive straight into the video. Now, just quickly before we start, there's going to be 2 links in the description. Link number 1 is to book a one-on-one call with myself if you're interested in working with us and us taking over your ad management. And then link number 2, very important, is the email newsletter. So anyone that's a smaller brand or a bigger brand that's looking for case studies, tips and tricks and advanced tutorials on how to improve Google Ads, that will be the second link. So first link, book a call with myself to work with us. Second link, newsletter. Let's dive straight into the video. So step number 1 is to check other traffic sources. So before you touch Google Ads, open Google Analytics and you need to be asking yourself this question: is Google Ads a problem, or is it a problem that we're seeing across all channels? So look at your conversion rate over the same period for Google Ads, Meta Ads, direct, organic, and use this simple rule. If all channels have dropped at the same time, it's almost certainly going to be a site problem and a problem that needs to be fixed on platform. If Google Ads themselves have dropped, every other channel's conversion rate and sales and revenue are roughly the same as what they were before, then it's an isolated Google Ads issue and we can start to fix that. Now, if it is a problem that you see across all of the channels, you need to be asking yourself, did we change pricing? Did we decrease pricing? Have we removed free shipping? Did we change themes or home pages or collection pages? Have we changed anything up? Or did we change the checkout process, for instance? You know, just one simple change in the checkout process can mean that your ads fall off a cliff across all platforms and everything almost stops working overnight. But visually, what you want to do is think of Google Ads as a tap and your website as the bucket. So if the bucket is leaking, aka a slow website, a weak offer and a broken checkout process, turning the tap on just wastes more and more water. So step 1 is to ask yourself, do I fix the tap first or do I fix the bucket first? And once you know that, and only once you know that, can you move on to step 2. So step number 2 is to review your click-through rates. So now that you know that Google Ads is the isolated issue, the next question is to ask yourself is, are people actually interested enough to click, right? So the CTR tells you your click-through rate, which is how many people are clicking your ads. So if you're getting a solid click-through rate, meaning people are seeing your ads and they're clicking your ads are doing a good job. They're pulling in attention and they're resonating with the people that are seeing those ads. If your click-through rate is low, people are seeing your ads, but they're not clicking it. So what you need to be aiming for here is roughly around a 2 to 4% click-through rate. If your click-through rate is below 1%, then you've got an issue that you need to sort out, or at least consider. So here's a simple fix. So if you have got a low click-through rate, you need to be thinking about how can we fix the ad. So some simple fixes are like fix the text in your ads. So rewrite your headlines and descriptions so they're clear and easy to read. So they should tell the customer exactly what the product is and who it's for. They should give 1 or 2 obvious reasons to choose you. So that could be better pricing, faster delivery, clear guarantees, and then include 1 or 2 lines that speak directly to the problem and issue that they're facing, the pain points that they're facing, right? And then number 2 is to upgrade your visuals. So change up your videos, change up your images, use high resolution, clear visuals that show the product properly and make it look as good as it does in real life. Now, your ads are your shop window here, and you're on a busy high street. So if your lights are on and your products are in the windows and people are still walking past, the issue isn't your customer service, it's inside the store. It's how that window looks from the outside. So once you've got a healthy click-through rate, we know that the window is doing its job, then we figure out who is actually walking in, and that's step number 3 that we're going to jump into now. So step number 3 is to review your search term and keyword quality. So if your ads are getting a ton of clicks, but they're not getting getting any conversions, the next question you need to ask yourself is, are these people that are seeing our ads the right crowd or the wrong crowd? So if you're getting lots of clicks and no conversions, more than likely going to be the wrong crowd, the wrong clicks from the wrong individuals that aren't ready to purchase. So to check that, open up your search term report and you need to be looking for this one thing. Look at the searches one by one and ask yourself, do these searches sound like someone that's ready to buy what we sell? So you'll usually see a good mix of good and bad searches, right? So some examples of good searches, some high quality intentful searches could be buy personalized enamel bangles online if you're a jewelry store, right? Or it could be Florence, London, enamel bangles online to purchase, right? It's got purchase intent. They're even using the brand in certain cases. And an example of a bad intent search could be DIY bangle repair, or it could be free enamel bangles or secondhand enamel bangles. These terms lack commercial intent and they're not going to be the types of people that will purchase from us. Someone looking for a DIY solution or a free solution is not going to be looking to spend 180, 200 pounds on some personalized jewelry. So the simple fix to this is to block the bad stuff, right? So go through line by line and ask yourself, does this have commercial intent? Is this going to lead to a sale? If it isn't, add it as a negative. So any of those searches like DIY or free or secondhand, we're going to add as negative search terms. We're going to tick them, and we're going to add them into our negative search term list. We're then going to make sure that we're protecting the good stuff by making sure that the only search terms left on in our account are those with commercially driven intent, people that are looking to buy from us. So if a big chunk of your spend is going to those bad terms versus those good high intent terms, you have a traffic problem. So your CTR told you how many people stopped at your shop window, and your click-through rates showed you how many people actually walked into the store, right? So if the wrong people walked in and none of them are buyers, you need to fix that problem first before you start blaming your site and your conversion process. So step number 4 is to check your bidding strategy. Are you in the right gear, right? Because if your CTR looks good and your search terms are solid, but you're still not getting conversions, the next thing to check is how you're bidding. Because a lot of accounts that are stuck are simply stuck because they're using the wrong bidding strategy, a bidding strategy that is not set up for success for where they are right now and where they want to be and their goals. So a simple rule that we use here is if you've got new campaigns, you've not got a lot of data and you've got a small budget, start on max clicks. Use this to get some data in and get these campaigns moving. This conversion objective is basically saying to Google, look, get me as many clicks as you can for my budget. And once you've got 30 to 50 conversions, you can switch over to max conversions or max conversion value, because you now have enough data and Google understands who your customer is and how to go after more of them. And then once your account matures and stabilizes, you can then think about latching on a target ROAS, but not until then. I would follow this step-by-step process to get to eventually latching on a target ROAS. And a couple of quick red flags here. If you're on max conversions and you've got no purchase data, your campaigns will more than likely just crawl. And then if you're on target ROAS and the target ROAS is set too high, then your campaigns will struggle to spend budget. And if you're on search impression share, well, then you're optimizing for the wrong metric altogether, right? You shouldn't be optimizing for search impression share. You're not looking for visibility. You're looking for sales. So Google Smart Bidding will only actually work if you have enough data and some realistic targets. Think of it like driving a car. You don't start your hill climb in 5th gear, right? You start in 1st gear, you build it up, and then you shift gear up to 5, right? So it's the same with bidding strategy. You get your data first and then you let Google Ads optimize and you move through those gears one by one. And then finally, step number 5 is to evaluate your site and your offer, right? So if your ads are driving good traffic and everything in Google Ads looks solid, it's time to ask yourself that really difficult question. Is it our website or our offer that's putting people off? Because at the end of the day, all we do from a Google Ads perspective is send high quality traffic to your website. If it doesn't convert, then there's an issue with your site that needs resolving. So let's run through what might be the problem here and how to fix it if you're at this stage. So it could be price. You know, are you clearly more expensive than other options in Google? So to do this and have a look at this, do a quick Google search and compare some shopping listings in your space. And then number 2 is trust. Does your site feel trustworthy? Is it credible, right? Do you have reviews and ratings and guarantees and any mentions in press articles or magazines that can help to build your credibility and trust? And then number 3 is speed and usability, right? How easy is it to load your website? Does it take 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10, 15 seconds? Because that is a massive problem. You know, how long does it take to load your individual product pages, your checkout process? You know, all of those site speed issues will be killing your conversion rates. And so they need to be looked at, and you need to assess how quickly people are able to move from one step to the next to then convert on the site. And number 4 is, where are you sending traffic to, right? If your product pages are converting far better than your homepage, you might start thinking about sending more traffic there. So if you've got a bestsellers page that converts at a 2% conversion rate, but your homepage converts at a 0.5% conversion rate, well, then you would be better off sending traffic to that bestsellers page rather than the homepage. And then the length of the checkout process is the final step here. So how long is your checkout process? How detailed is it? How much information are you asking for? The more information that you ask for, the slower the checkout process, the less people will convert on that site. So if you found this video helpful and you would like some more simple and advanced Google Ads tutorials, hit subscribe. We post weekly at the moment. And if you're interested in working with us, it's that first line in the description, and the second line will be for the newsletter. Now, if you're looking for another video to watch, I would highly recommend watching this next video, which is Google Ads worth it in 2025?